Well, good morning, Dr. Milou.
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I am well, and yourself?
I am doing fabulous.
I see you're in your
Weather is,
coffee shop this morning.
yes, I am in my coffee
Well, good
shop.
morning, Dr. Milou.
Good morning, Tony. How are you? Okay, very well. So that is because Facebook Live, we have a Facebook session. That's why you are showing
Hey,
up there.
it would not be a session with Coffee and the Coach if we didn't have a little feedback every now and then.
There you go. There you go.
So, welcome to Coffee with the Coach, and this is July 6th. Welcome to July, to your summer in full
Yes,
swing.
we just celebrated our nation's birthday. That was fabulous. We had a lot of good time, and we went to fireworks at a local winery, and quite a few people was there. Good food, good music, everything looking to be. We are out of the COVID zone, which is even though
Well, that's debatable.
well, everything seemed to be that way, and at the same time we are seeing some other Delta variant or whatever showing up, but at the same time, so you look at the positivity around the country.
Well, and I think that's a good point. I think with everything in each day, you have to look at the positive side of everything. And we, like you say, we all enjoyed fireworks. And for a moment, we were in the moment,
Yes.
enjoying each red, white, blue, colorful moment. And I think that is part of living a positive life, is it not?
Yes, it is. Just imagine that for a second of when we are watching the fireworks, listening to some music, and our mind is at that time in focus with something greater than ourselves, something better than our environment, something we are
And we don't know what to expect. We don't know what's coming next.
right, and we are what they call in sync in the moment, and we are absorbing the moment. Because just think about that for a second. Living in the moment comparing to not living in the moment, that's the difference we are experiencing at that time, because we are living in the moment. We are seeing the fireworks. We are, oh, there is another one. Oh, that's a nice one. So we are enjoying, exactly. So we are enjoying each and every moment. And at the same time, some very nice music going on in the background, which keeps our mood going. And the togetherness of everybody there is that, no, we may have some challenging times right now, but we have a brighter future. We may have difficulties with COVID and all those, but we are here together. We are celebrating. And that's one key thing, we are celebrating.
Well, we are taking the time purposefully to slow down and to sit there for a moment,
Right.
enjoy what we see. And I think in this age of technology, we are all multitasking. And we see that a positive thing. Multitasking, we commend people for being able to multitask as well as they do. And I think living in the moment comes down to single tasking, does it not?
It's single task, but it's called focus. Focusing on what it is important to us. Focusing on what is the key for that moment, instead of focusing on a lot of other things that are not important. So it's like practicing gratitude for what we have. It's not about what we don't have or what we cannot have.
Well, that's a whole nother subject. But it is on the subject of positivity.
Right.
And each day, I think taking a moment to slow down to enjoy your coffee and not be in a hurry to finish the cup, but to enjoy it sip by sip, and to count your blessings, count 5 things that you're grateful for in your life, because there's plenty, life has a way of throwing negative things at you. And if you focus on them, as you say, focus, it brings the negativity into your life and it creates that energy, a negative energy. And to be positive, you need to focus on the positive things to develop that positive energy, to make more things roll in that positive direction.
Yes, and it is so true, Tony, because just think about that. When you are mentioning the word positive, think about the words that are associated with that. So I'll repeat few of them just so for our discussion purpose. So if I mention happiness, if I mention love, if I mention inspiration, if I mention joy, what kind of vibe you get? Do you get a negative vibe or do you get a...
No. And include that wellness too.
Yes.
Because negativity brings illness with, it allows that to perpetuate.
Yes. So by mentioning those words is you seeing that there's a completely different zone called positive zone. Now I could have said, instead of happiness, I could have said unhappiness. Instead of joy, I could have said sadness. Instead of love, I could have said hate. So there is a lot of negative connotation on the 3 words I just mentioned. By opposites. So by picking the words of positive side, we are creating a positive experience. And this experience relates to our life choices. So as we were talking about the moment of positive experience where we are together, we are talking about positive psychology, how people together create a moment. Like if you are experiencing a band, you're going to an open field and there is a band and you have people celebrating and enjoying, dancing, and there is something good going on. There is something to look for. And that's what creates that positive vibe.
That's an interesting thought in the collective process. When everybody is watching fireworks, you do hear a collective oohs and ahs and positive feelings, or in music, when you're watching, enjoyable music, that's not, let's just say, not in your face, but people collectively are happy because of the positive motion. But in a group setting, you rarely see a fight break out when somebody's watching fireworks or enjoying music. You might see a fight break out at a hockey game where it's a little, adversarial, my team versus your team.
Yes. And that is the key.
So the collective, to that point, the collective energies of a crowd can manifest positive or negative reactions.
Yes, that the collective definitely is. It's also can be individualistic, but in this example that we provided on a 4th of July and a collective mindset, where collectively we are looking at a future of growth, we are looking at a future of
hope,
prosperity, we are looking at a future of enjoyment, love, happiness, all those keywords that we're talking about. So when those keywords automatically flowing in our brain is creating that positiveness, and which automatically changing our mood. And as you can see, that we as a human being control that. We have full control of how we react to any situation. You can be positive, you can be negative. And by having that positive vibe, you can enjoy every single moment. And as an example of fireworks, we just saw that, at that time, our main goal is looking at the next one, right? So we are holding our dear one close to us, or dancing, or looking at the sky and seeing the next one. Oh, this is fabulous. Oh, the next one is even better.
At the end of it all, there's a collective applause, or hooting and hollering, or horns beeping,
Right.
But a collective happiness in the group.
Exactly. And that is what essential for positiveness is, to think about that we are not alone. We are not alone. There's a lot of people out there who feel like they're alone, they're left alone, or they don't have anybody to talk to. But look at the whole world. When the world comes together, happiness flows.
So to those people who feel that they're alone, or don't have anyone to talk to, what would you recommend? The reality is the person right next to them may also feel alone. So don't be afraid to say hello.
Well, that is one of the thing is, we as a human being, and I say that many times, is we are social animal. Even though some of us are introvert and extrovert, we crave for that interaction with somebody else, regardless is online, is face to face. Even during Zoom, not during Zoom, during COVID, you see people could not go out, but they have did Zoom to have that human interaction going. So if you are lonely, and if you are not having that social interaction, you need to say hello. You need to go have that interaction with people. You need to go to where people are, and that's where we belong.
And to that point, we manifest the things that we think about. So if we think about something positive, and we're thinking of something positive before we even say hello to somebody, maybe there's a flower in the field next to them, and you see that flower and you say, "Oh, isn't that beautiful?" When you turn to that person and say, "Oh, hello, isn't it a nice day?" You will manifest that positivity, and that person will respond to you in a similar manner.
Yes, positivity is infective. It's spread around like crazy if you can just know how to do it. And we have seen that. We have seen that after 9/11, when we have faced challenges. At the same times, out of the ashes, we have seen the hope. We have seen the future is coming, which is brighter. We're gonna go there and rebuild. And now, if you go to New York City, you will see that shiny tower once again there. Means we have revealed the future never stopped. So having that, and the common saying about game must go on. We don't stop, we continue. And that's the key of the future, of having the hope going, focusing on the future.
Some people might think that living in the moment does not take the future into consideration.
That's a key question also, Tony. When you are one with yourself and you are living in the moment, remember, the moment is future.
It's the future is the next moment.
Exactly. The moment is the future, means you are living the moment to live for the future, for the next moment, and the moment after, and the moment after that.
Like watching the next fireworks go off.
Exactly. And it's not the past. If we dwell in the past, we may find things that we don't want to go or don't want to bring it to the present.
Or we don't progress.
Right, right. And that's the key definition of progression. You are moving forward. And every step you make towards the future is going to that direction. And it is in the moment. So the combining the moment to the futuristic point of view is
With the positivity,
with the
you're
positive.
positive in each moment, you're taking positive progress one step at a time.
Exactly, exactly. And you have got that very nicely there. And having that gratitude for everything that you have, right? So as you can see, that positive emotion has a lot of good connotation attached to it. Positive emotion creates, like if you have employees who have that positive emotion, that creates greater customer service. Your customers are happy because that positive energy is around them. So is having that positive emotion, is living in the moment, considering the future of the next moment, is the most critical thing right now. And even during COVID, we have seen that is when everything is shutting down, we know that in future we will open back up, right? And you go to the Congress and go through all this political domain, you see they're debating about future, what they're going to do. And they are talking about what we are going to do to get out of it. And in research, it happens all the time, like vaccination. When they are searching for vaccination, they're not searching for like, okay, we have no hope. They're searching for hope, means we're gonna find the vaccination that's gonna defeat the virus, and then we're gonna defeat it. That is the hope that drives the future. And as you can see that during COVID time, it was very quickly was developed multiple vaccination, and they're very effective. And that is focusing on the future that was done. And we are here in the future now, and we are seeing that the effect of those vaccination is fantastic. We were able to mask, we were able to public gathering. As you can see, the 4th of July celebration, everywhere you have seen a different vibe from last year.
Totally, totally. And you you can let fear come into your life, and fear is that negative element that you're opening the door for. And I think COVID and this new Delta strain can help to stimulate a little bit of fear. But as long as you move forward in a positive manner and you're not complacent about being in crowds, because yes, there's a possibility of COVID coming back, but it's not a fear that you should stop your life. Mm-hmm. If you're walking into a place and you may not be familiar with the surroundings or the people or who's been vaccinated. I just came from the Branson area over the 4th of July, and that area has had some COVID outbreaks. You know, that's a hot pocket, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But when we went into a public area, we still wore a mask, and some did and some didn't. And I was happy to see some of the places that I walked into to get fast food, and I'll even plug Culver's because I was impressed that all of their people had masks on.
Yes.
The customers didn't necessarily. Some of them did, some of them didn't, but all the employees did. So I applaud them for that corporate approach, because you're not seeing that corporate directive right now.
Yes. And what you mentioned there is a very, very key element of positiveness and happiness. Is think about the words I'm going to mention to you right now, and I'm going to mention 3 of them. And let's see, what do you feel about those three words? So the first word is worry. Second word is stress. Third word is anxiety. So worry, stress, anxiety. These are negative words. But when I say those three words, what do you feel?
You feel that you don't want a part of that in your life. You want to avoid that as much as you can.
So there is an avoidance tendency that you are talking about, right? So
Right.
worry, stress, and anxiety, the three words that I mentioned, guess who creates those?
Fear.
Fear. Because we fear, we worry. Because we fear, we feel anxiety. Because we fear, we have stress. So all of these, just look at those three words, they're futuristic words.
How are
Fear,
they futuristic?
yes, for example, fear of something happening negatively worries you. Means there's a dinosaurs that may come and get you, and you are worrying all day long about that dinosaur. Even though that's maybe an imaginary dinosaur and it's not there. Stress, for example, you are stressing about that dinosaur. It may be not there, may or may not be there, right? And anxiety is that mindset of creating that fear. I'm anxious. I'm in anxiety mode right now because I know that dinosaur will kill me.
So tell me,
Mhm.
how do I deal with that?
Okay, and that's the positive vibe. So what if the dinosaur is not there? So there is the what if, and the positive what if is, what if it's not there? Yes, if it is there, it will kill me, but what if it's not there? So the imaginary dinosaur goes away.
Well, and let's make that realistic,
Mhm,
and maybe I'm walking through the streets of New York
mhm,
and I'm not worried about a dinosaur,
mhm,
but I'm worried about my safety.
mhm.
So worry, fear, anxiety come right in the moment.
Mhm.
And the best ways to deal with that is one, acceptance, knowing where you are and accepting what is and being prepared.
You have to be, you know, aware of your surrounding. You have to take precaution and all those things. But just imagine one thing: you may be flying, and a pilot is in charge, and you cannot worry about the
Accept
plane.
it. Some
So
people do worry though.
some people do worry, even, and we do have claustrophobic people who are like very nervous in that situation. But when you have to see that if I am in control, I know what to do, and that's the safety aspect come in. So if you are in control of walking down the streets and you know there is a danger there, you know how to control your maneuvering.
It's not even New York. It's people I hear, and they're older people
Mm-hmm.
who might go to a baseball game in downtown St. Louis. And they say, I will not go to a night game
Mm-hmm.
because I'm afraid to go to the parking garage.
Yes, and it's that's the worry that we have, and you have to take
And
all the,
fear.
yeah, you
Mhm.
have to take all the precautions to avoid that, but not necessarily that you have to fear and anxiety about it, because it can happen at your home right now. Sitting, a meteor
Sure.
can come and hit you, and a meteor shower, a small meteor, can destroy your total house, and it can happen. You have no control of that. And worry is for something that is beyond our control. And that creates anxiety and that creates stress. And that's constant.
It's very hard to teach people who have worried all their life, particularly if they're elderly people, to learn to not worry.
Mhm.
and not stress. And I try to deal with that with my 90-year-old mother all the time. It's like, you don't need to worry about these things. They're not a part of your daily life, but how
Yes.
can you change that mindset when it's that much ingrained in someone?
Constant level of worriness create anxiety and stress, and that's the thing is that we are practicing in our Vino and Vision VIP is called mindfulness meditation. And we are doing it every week, 3 times a week. And now it's interactive. So our yoga instructor can actually, interactively, people can join and share their ideas or learn from her. Is that interactive classes. So, and it's using Zoom. She will post the Zoom link and people will be able to interact during the class. So this mindfulness practices gives you how to quiet your mind. Total quietness where your mind don't speak anymore. Our mind even speak in the, constantly working at night. Even we are sleeping, is the most hard-working person that we know is our brain, is continue to work. And our goal is to quiet that thought process, totally eliminate it, and just be.
So I talk to people often about this, and they say they cannot quiet their mind. They do not know how to, the first step in slowing down their thoughts.
Yes.
And I tell them the first step is to breathe and focus on your breathing.
Well, one of the key of element of sleep is if you go to bed and you continue to think, you will not be able to sleep. You need to take totally silent your mind, silent your brain, and focus on sleeping, and you will be able to sleep. That's the positive way of improving your sleep. The mind continue to work, and if you continue to let it work during night, your sleep will be disrupted.
If I'm focusing on something when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about it.
Yes, yes. So very well. I know our time is running short, and this month we are discussing positivity, and we will be discussing the entire month. All our Vino and Vision VIP theme of the month is positivity. So we are in yoga, in music, in art, and everything we do, coaching included, we are focusing on positivity. So check that out and see how you like.
Well, here's to you. Be well.
And today I'm going to be
happy.
drinking my Diet Coke. That's giving me the positive vibe today. Sorry.
Very good. Well,
cheers to you.
Coke with the coach. We'll change it to Coke with the coach.
Yeah, and then you get the big endorsement from Coca-Cola. Fantastic, Tony. Well, very nice to see you, and keep that positive vibe going, and let the world be a better place.
We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Same to you.